Alright, good morning everybody. It is finally Friday. What a long week this was. Having come out on Sunday, made for a 6-day week, and it just feels like it's dragging because every day felt like it was later than it was. Yesterday felt like it was Friday, and then I realized it was Thursday and I had one more day. But today is finally Friday and it's finally sunny and nice out. We'll talk more about yesterday's weather and what was supposed to be and what didn't happen. Maybe over there at the well, but we're fixing to get ready to go. We got one over to Redding, one down to Fogelsville, then we got the van to move up to Hazelton, and then we got one more water to Fogelsville to finish out the night. So we're gonna get going here and get loaded over there to take this first one to Redding, and we'll talk to you over there while we're loading and then show you the scenes along the way as we always do. Alright, so we're out here at the well in the sticks, for lack of a better term, because I really don't know what town or township or municipality we're actually in. I just know we're out here in the woods. So this is where we're loading. We're going over to Redding, like I said. Originally, we were supposed to do 2 of them out of the Red Barn and in the van, and then one more down to Fogelsville. But he texted me and changed it up and had me run my first one over to Redding, and there may be a reason for that. I got a phone call from our other driver. He's third back waiting to load up there. There's one loading, and then there's another one in front of him that has to load, and then he has to load. So if I would have went up there, I would have been fourth back, and it probably would have taken me close to 2 hours till I got out of there. So maybe that's why he moved me and is sending me over to Redding, so save me some time, because otherwise I'd have sat there for 2 hours, and it would have put me way behind schedule. So it could be why I'm doing Redding first instead of Fogelsville. But as for the weather, we finally got out of that rainy pattern. Yesterday was supposed to be an explosive, end to it. It was supposed to go out with a bang with thunderstorms, and some places got some doozies, like down toward Philly and the Philly suburbs, but we got nada. Rounds 1 and 2 went down that way, south of I-78, and round number 3 went north of 80 up to Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and we were sandwiched in between and got nothing but a few raindrops. So I'm glad I didn't bring the cameras out yesterday, because it would have made me a liar, because I mentioned on Sunday that there was a chance for some big boomers on Thursday, and we never got them. So, but at any rate, the weather has changed. It's actually a very beautiful day today. It's breezy. It's only going to be about 82, dry. But then the blowtorch comes, and I don't mind that weather, but we're going to go up in the mid to upper 90s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In fact, they have excessive heat watch up already for the extreme temperatures and heat indexes. So we're going to get a string of nice weather, but it's going to come with some high heat. But anyway, we're loading up here, and once we're done and buttoned up, and then we'll talk to you on the way over to Redding. Alright, so we are in the borough of New Ringgold right now, and we're coming up on the favorite part of the trip. We are loaded and we are rolling out, and I like this stretch west of New Ringgold here, even more so once we top the hill and get past the 443 cutoff. It gets real pretty through there, kind of some rolling farmland and some hills and some wooded areas, and it's just a nice area out through here. And with the 6, I can pull this hill pretty good. When I had the 8,000 gallon tank, I used to kind of crawl up this hill. It was number 1, of course, it's 20,000 pounds heavier, and number 2, that Western Star did not have quite the power that this one has. So I would come up this hill about 10 miles an hour slower when I used to do this with the 8,000 gallon tank. But yeah, it's really beautiful out here, and it's a beautiful day, and I don't recall if I showed it to you or not. I think I tried to. I think I might have showed it in the other direction. I don't know if I showed it going this way, and I could run probably the whole stretch over to 61 is really beautiful, but I think it's about 8 miles. It'd be a 10-minute video just going over there, so I try to show certain sections of it. I think there's a mileage sign up here once we get past the 443 cutoff here. I think, yeah, there is. Right under that 895 sign up ahead of us. Deer Lake, 7 miles. That's about where this road will come out to 61, just above Port Clinton, a little town called Deer Lake. Ironically, that is where Muhammad Ali used to train before he'd have a big fight. He had a training gym there in Deer Lake. I guess he felt like he was out of the public eye and away from scrutiny and just a rural area where nobody would bother him. So he used to do all his pre-fight training out there in Deer Lake. And then I guess probably, he'd probably take walks around the area or whatever, and probably clear his mind, because like I said, look at it, it's so beautiful. You have tree farms and regular farms and just a really nice area out through here. And when we get down into the bottom of this dip here, both sides of the road, there's a tree farm, mostly Christmas trees. Tree farm. In fact, somebody making a left. They got a big tractor there. See what I mean about farmland? Look at that farm equipment there. And after you climb this hill, and it's really pretty as you drop back down into the valley off this little ridge or whatever it is. But yeah, this is going to pull you down unless you get a run for it, which it's doing me right now. Got a 53 behind me. I don't know, I think he's empty or light because he's gaining on me here. Of course, I weigh close to 80,000 pounds, so I'm gonna pull it a little on the slow side. Just a nice area out through here. And if you catch it at sunset, we're actually kind of heading east or south or whatever, but the sunset is actually behind us for a brief moment coming down this hill, and it makes it really look cool. But even now it's nice. Like I said, I could keep this camera on all the way over to 61 because it's just that pretty out through here. But nobody was in our way loading, so that's a good thing. So hopefully when we get out there to a customer, nobody's going to be in our way while we're unloading, and nobody came in to load while we were there, so we probably should be able to get unloaded and not be in anybody else's way either. Hopefully. That's the way I like to run. It doesn't always work that way, but I like to try and stay out of everybody's way, and I like it when everybody stays out of my way, kind of. I mean, it's nice to stop and get a chance to talk to our fellow drivers, but sometimes it's nice to just keep going without an obstruction or a delay. So. Anyway, 12:24, and heading on over for that first delivery, and hopefully all day long goes nice and smooth and easy. That's the way we want it on a Friday. Alright, so it may be a little echoey in here, but I want to show you what we got to do to test. I didn't show you actually testing it, but this is what we got to do. See, the device on the left is for pH, the device on the right is for TDS, or total dissolved solids. And we put the probes in the water and then take the reading, and it'll also give us the temperature. And then this one here, this here is a small vial, and we put some of the sample water in there, and that tests for turbidity. And see, it's showing 1.19, which is in the acceptable range. It's under 1.40 is acceptable turbidity rate, so we are at 1.19, so we are good to go. And then what we do is fill up 2 sample bottles for them to sample further and put labels on them, and then put them in a little cabinet over there by where we unload. And I'll talk to you a little more in a minute, but I kind of wanted to show you what we did here. All All right, so we either echo in here or deal with the racket outside from the plastic pellets that are running through a stainless steel pipe on the top of the building, because they make their own bottles here. So we'll just deal with the echo. But I showed you what the implements of destruction are to do the testing, the tools of the testing trade there. 2 probes and then the vial sample for pH, TDS, and turbidity. And then, of course, that one takes the temperature, too, so we know what the temperature of the water is. And if everything comes clean, then we hook up and we unload. And so far, I've never had a problem with the water that I brought here. I guess if something's kind of out of spec, then you have to call QC, and they come out and probably test it further and then decide what to do with it if they still can't get it in the spec. But the water is always clean, so I've never had a problem. I don't know if any other drivers have, but I've not, so... We are unloading as we speak, probably about halfway through, so it takes about 20 minutes to unload here like everywhere else, so probably got about 10 minutes left, and then we're going to be able to roll on to the next stop, which is out of the Red Barn location. Hopefully that truck jam up situation has alleviated itself, and when we get up there, there's nobody there, and we can load right away. So and that one, of course, goes down to Fogelsville, and then from there, then we've got the van shuttle, so... Alright, so almost to the Red Barn location. Let's see what we got when we get up here. Like I said, I was told that it was very busy at the noontime hour, and that there were 3 trucks up here. 1 loading, 2 waiting to get unloaded. So hopefully that situation is not being repeated as we're driving up here. Now, I don't know who it was that was in here, but there are a couple of day shift guys who should be finished for the day and on their way home, if not home already. So, should be about 2 or 3 trucks that have been taken out of the loop just by nature of their quitting time because of what time they start in the morning. The one that starts at 2 a.m., so he's done. Got one that starts at 3:30 a.m., so he's done. One that starts at 4:30, so he most likely is done. So I don't know. There might be one up here. One guy starts at 5 and one guy starts at 6. So one of those 2 may still be out. Don't know which end of the loop they're on. So one of them may be in here. None of them may be in here. 2 of them may be in here. Best case scenario, none of them are in here because we're already behind. Under normal conditions, we're behind by going over to Reading instead of down to Fogelsville. But considering what could have been if I would have come up here to load my first load, we'd have been behind a whole lot more than this. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Nope, nobody here. Good, good, good. We got it all to ourselves. Well, was going to do a segment here, but another driver pulled in, so we'll talk to you on the road. Alright, so we got it loaded and we're out of there. The other guy, he had gotten there when I was about halfway done, because I did my computer and paperwork, came out to the truck, got my snack that I was going to eat, and had all that, and then I sat down and I was going to start doing the recording segment there where I was sitting, and then I had gotten a text from the night shift partner that runs his truck on the midnight shift, and he wanted to tell me about something he had saw when he was washing the rims, and it was something that I knew about that the mechanics had pointed out to me, and it's not a serious issue, but he saw it and wanted to be sure that I knew about it. So I finished texting back to him, and that guy pulled in, so I couldn't do my segment. Although I did do that brief little explanation, and while I was doing it, he saw what I was doing, sort of, and he said he got out the truck and he was walking up behind me waving. He thought I was taking a selfie picture, and that's what I told him I was doing. I said, yeah, I change my Facebook profile pic every now and again, and I thought the 2 trucks behind me would look pretty cool, so I got away with that one. So, yeah, he had to wait on every driver, every load that he did, he had to wait on somebody up there. And he was the one that called me and told me he was 3 back at noontime hours. So, He's a pretty happy guy. Not a lot bothers him, so it didn't torque him up or anything like that. But yeah, when he was up there for his last load before this one, he was third one back, and I forgot to ask him how long it actually took him. But considering he has an 8, the guy that was loading had an 8, and then there was a 6 in front of him. Each 8 takes a half hour to load, and the 6s take 20 minutes. So he was probably there an hour and a half till he, from the point of time when he got there to the point of time that he was loaded and he was buttoning her up and leaving. So yeah, once you get behind somebody at a well like that, it really eats into your clock. So, but anyway, all's good. That's his last load, and then when we get down here, we'll have to check in and get our van information so that we can drop this when we're done unloading it, and hook up to the van and take that up to Hazelton. So, but we ain't gonna do what we did. I think that was it Sunday, or yeah, it was Sunday when it was raining, and I decided to just pull up to the intercom and do it right from the truck while I was still hooked to the tank. Now that it's nice out, I'll get the unloading started, and then I'll walk over to the intercom and talk to them. So what do we got going on up here? What do we got going up here? Oh, I think they're blacktopping, either blacktopping or oil and chipping this side road where the traffic light is. We'll find out. I guess they're gonna blacktop it because it looks like they're milling out. Come on, dude, and pay attention to the light, not the workers. Yeah, they're milling out a edge so that when they blacktop, it meets up flush with the old pavement. So they're gonna asphalt pave that road, I guess, not oil and chip it, which is a good thing, because I hate oil and chip, and so does just about everybody else. It is a disgusting way to resurface a road. Cheap, but disgusting. So, but anyway, we'll talk to you down at the plant. Supposedly it's still running good, so no worries. All right, so our pump just shut off. It's got one more little cycle to do to empty out the last remaining bit of the trailer, and then we're done here. Then we got to go over and drop it over there in the yard and find our loaded trailer to take up to Hazelton. Take a 5-minute break after we hook up and pre-trip it, and then we'll roll on out of here. We'll talk to you after we hook up to the van. All right, so a couple things. We gotta slide these tandems up just a little bit. Oh, let's see if we have enough air in there to do it. Yep. And they didn't put a seal on the trailer, so we'll have to get one back at the gate. So let's make sure that we have load in here. And we do. So we're all hooked up. All we gotta do is slide those tandems forward just a little bit. They're too far back to run. And then we gotta go out and get our paperwork. And usually the yard jockeys will put a seal on the trailer, but they didn't put a seal on it this time. But there's a box full of them back there for the live loads these guys usually do. So I'll just grab a seal out of the box and do it that way. But after a 5-minute break here, we'll take this thing and roll on up to Hazelton with it. All right, so we got the van all pre-tripped, tandem slid, sealed up, paperwork gotten, and we are getting out of here. So now I'm just kind of trying to think of which way I want to go here. I got a feeling I'm just going to go to the right. It's 4:06 p.m., so it's right in that window of all these places getting out of work on their shift changes, and it can be easy to get out of here, and then it might be difficult to get out of here. Now, we'll just take the easy way. Doesn't much matter. If anything, it adds a few minutes. It's not like it's a half hour extra length of trip to go this way. It just adds a few minutes, that's all. Not a big deal. Although it looks like I could have got out. There's really nothing on the road. But anyway, we change up the view. We go out that way more than we go out this way, so we'll go out this way this time, see something a little different. So we got to go up to Tamaqua. We're going to get up there about 5 o'clock, so I don't know what traffic is going to be like. It's Friday. It could be heavy. I don't know if folks are going to be going up to the Poconos camping, if we're going to have a lot of travel traffic, or what's going on. Oh, this aqueduct. Okay. I was going to say, I hope he doesn't do anything stupid. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of travel traffic today or not. Next Friday is the 4th, so I don't know. Well, that's actually the holiday itself, so traffic may not be that heavy, but I'll probably end up working it. That's the way it works around here. If you don't request the day off, you work it. And so I'm probably going to end up working it, because I'm actually off on Monday prior to the 4th for an eye doctor's appointment. So that would give me 2 days off that week, and I don't even know if he would be too happy with that, because a lot of people are going to want the 4th off, and then they'll end up being shorthanded. All right, so I am supposed to go into door 117 there. However, everything's jammed up. They were out of paper up there at the checkout area. So as you can see, I can't get my dock until all these guys clear out. So I'm kind of stuck here for a little while. So once I get dropped and hooked over on the other side to the empty, I'll talk to you more. All right, so we finally got it put in that dock, and we're over here and we got our empty. We pre-tripped it, slid the tandems forward, closed the doors. We're just about ready to go. But yeah, the printer was out of paperwork, and it jammed up the whole yard, and so I had to wait until things started clearing out. And except for one guy that didn't move, he was in the back of the trailer, him and his partner, and I don't know what they were doing back there, but standing by the back of the trailer. I don't know if they were shooting the breeze. They took a strap back there and strapped the load, closed the doors. I saw them do that, and I don't know if they were just standing back there talking or what, but then the whole line, everything moved, but I couldn't get completely in the dock because I needed to pull forward and he was in the way. So finally got him to move and finally got in the dock, so now we're done and getting ready to get on out of here. But boy, that set me back almost an hour sitting there waiting for that to clear up. Well, we made it back down here to Fogelsville, but now I'm 5 deep waiting to get checked in down here just to drop this empty and hook back up to my tank. What a night of delays. Everything went good with the water. Went down to Reading, in and out. Came here with this one, in and out. Got the van, and everything went sideways once I got the van. So I don't know what's going on here, but nobody moving. So they're testing my patience tonight. Oh, somebody's brake lights just came on. Somebody's gonna move now. All right, I guess we're gonna move up a little bit. All right, so we got in and we dropped the van and we're hooked to our tank and we're about ready to get out of here, go get that last load of water. But what a night so far. Maybe when I come down here or when I'm up at the well, I'll talk to you a little more about it. Jeez, I'll tell you. All right, well, we got a bit of a cool looking sunset going on here. Not quite Arizona quality, but it's one of the better ones we've had here in a while. It's kind of peeking through that high cloud deck there and lighting up some of the other stuff. There's actually a small sundog straight ahead of us. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Sundog is light refraction in high cirrus clouds off the ice crystals. It makes it look like rainbows on either side of the sun. So there's one there straight ahead of us. But it's not as vivid as it could be, but still a pretty cool looking sunset going on right now, I guess. I don't know, it's like I said, not Arizona quality, but still pretty good considering that we don't get many of them around here. Alright, so we're here loading up the 4th one, and as you can see, we got a nice sunset going on behind us, so everything went good for the most part today, except for that van load, and it started not when we picked it up, but heading up to Hazelton. We got to New Tripoli. There was a yard sale going on there, and there were cars parked along the shoulder on the southbound side, and one of them pulled out in front of somebody driving southbound, and he had the quick whip around him and right into my lane, and almost a head-on collision. I had to slam on the brakes. I didn't have to come to a complete stop, and I didn't shift the load, but boy, it was pretty close. And then, of course, once we got up to Hazelton, then we had the delays up there in getting back into the dock, and then when we got down to Fogelsville, we had the delays getting into the facility. So, but we're here loading up this fourth one, and looked like water was going good down there yet, so we should be all right, and we should be able to get it unloaded. But we're gonna have a late night. They probably aren't gonna get back till about 11 o'clock tonight, and that's when we'll button her up. And so we'll try to talk to you on the way down there, and talk to you on the way back, or talk to you down there, or we'll try to talk to you somewhere along the way. But I can't wait for this night and this week to be over, I'll tell you that. All right, I don't know how good a view you guys are gonna have. The windshield's all full of bugs. I didn't realize it, but these lights down here kind of making them stand out. While I was driving down here, I didn't realize how buggy the windshield was. This guy gonna pull up one more time? Nope, he's gonna sit there and open up his doors, I guess. All right, we got a clean shot to get out. This place gets busy at night. They like to ship at night, and it's much busier at night than it is during the day usually. So, but we're finally done. It is 9:50, so about 35 minutes to get up there to that Exxon station where I'm gonna fuel it up for the, I don't know if anybody's gonna run this truck on the weekend. If not, then it's fueled up for my night shift partner when he comes out Sunday night at midnight. But what a long day. I don't even know if I'm going to do a closing segment up there in the yard. I may just do it here as we're leaving the plant, because it just was, it started out so good with the two water loads. Even though I got swapped with a Fogelsville and had to go out to Reading, that made it a little more interesting because we went to a different place. And everything was going good until I hooked up to that van, and then everything went sideways after that with delays and the near collision up there by Northwestern Lehigh High School when that dude had to bail left when the car pulled out in front of him. And yeah, it was just, I don't know. I'm like I said up there at the well, I'm so glad this week is in the rearview mirror. It's been a long week with starting on Sunday instead of Monday, so I had a 6-day week. And then it wasn't that much fun. The rain for the first 3 days, and I don't know. All right, we're done for the night, done for the week. Paperwork's done. Post-trip inspection is done, and we're gonna head home. I don't know what this video is gonna be like. I haven't reviewed any of the footage. The first 2 loads should be pretty cool, and then once we got the van and then the second tank load, my dialogue kind of stunk, and things didn't go the way they should have went, and we had delays and all kinds of shenanigans that made for a bad second half of the night. So I don't know what it's gonna look like, but we'll talk to you in the next one, maybe when I make one.